Hello, everyone. So today I'm joined with AJ Davidson, and it's me, your host, Madison. And today this is a different thing. And yesterday I made a my camera's off. There you go. Yesterday we made a episode, or I made an episode unrecorded about shit. What did we talked about my book because I'm an arrogant asshole and I have to talk about my shit every 5 seconds, or else my ego will deflate.
I can relate. I love talking about my world.
Honestly, it's really fun. Like, because then you really feel like established. You're like, oh yes, my book and I. It's wonderful.
And it kind of feels like it's real when you put words to it. Like it's this picture in your head, and then you start talking about it, and it becomes more real.
Yeah, and that's the really fun part.
Really.
So, AJ, what was your question again about about world building? Because today that's what we're hopefully going to be talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So backstory for the listeners. My world is actually based has 7 continents that are all separate, and they each have their own elemental magic associated with them, which affects a lot of things about the biology and the culture that are found on each continent. And what I was asking Madison about was, I'm starting to world build more, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to start developing the magic system in each continent before I develop the rest of the culture and biology, or if I should do it a different way.
Okay. Excuse me, Professor.
You're stumping now that we're recording?
Huh?
You're stumping now? Your brain's not working?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, even though it is in the background, I'm like, don't fuck this up. And I know I'm going to fuck this up. But basically, my personal opinion, my educated opinion, because, I have, for the book that I fucking wrote. Oh, by the way, listeners at home, anytime I mention my book or somehow turn the conversation to my book, just please do me a favor, take a fucking shot. I think you, take a shot of whatever, liquid, any form of liquid, I don't care. Just...
Having this into a drinking game, okay.
Just don't die, because I think it's going to happen a lot more than I'd like to admit.
It probably is.
It probably is, but hey, and if you want to steal the conversation back to your world, please do. Anytime we switch our conversations into our worlds, please take a shot. Unintentionally. Anywho, let's talk about my world. Shot number 1. So, I think what you should do personally is, you said you wanted to develop the magic system and also the culture. So I actually really think you should kind of do both simultaneously almost. But, I am hesitant to say which I think you should do first, because I think the culture will dictate the magic. Because, for instance, if it's a culture of, if you're in a savanna, let's say you have one of the savannas, which is more heat-based, and then let's just say these people are then, fire elementals. So they would have a different, culture that revolves really around the, heat.
Well, here's the thing. Fire magic is based in another continent. The one with the lava chasm?
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
So, yeah,
I'm sorry, you have an entire Encyclopedia Britannica worth of information about here, and I'm just sorry. I tend to forget that kind of stuff.
I still have that 9-page list of faunas that could possibly be found just on Thorodabes.
Yeah.
Which is continent I'm working on right now, and that the magic system in that continent is nature-based. That's why I have rainforests and savannas. They're very, rich in flora and fauna.
Okay, I see where you're going with there. Okay.
I did that because I decided that continent would have nature magic. But
okay.
I don't know if I want to start building that, because that kind of affects everything.
Well, to me, for me personally, I'm kind of getting a story just based off of that. It's very flora and fauna, very nature-based. So obviously, we would have nature magic. So to me, I more see peaceful mystic type people who are very peaceful pagans basically, who worship the forest, whatnot, and then have a very peaceful existence and use magic to either couple their life, to either better it and use it in that form.
Yeah.
While versus in the volcano chasms, maybe we can be a little bit more stereotypical here, and they can be a lot more militant, using again fire for forging armories, things like that, things that the dwarves would do, making. They would probably be maybe some of the best metalsmiths in the entire kingdom.
Yeah,
I'm
starting to think that maybe I should start developing the cultures first, because that could also reflect that. But since magic is this type of magic is only reserved for a few, it won't affect what you can do with it.
I mean, honestly, it's up to you, because I really wouldn't know. But
World building is hard.
Oh my fucking god! Because I realize that because with my book, shot number 2. Fuck, I need to actually start taking shots.
No, that's shot number 3 because you were talking about your world and then my world, and then now it's back to your world.
Everyone, get the fucking liquor bottles. We're gonna have a nice time. We're gonna die. We are going to die.
You're gonna die.
Girl, I'm drinking water. Oh, y'all. You think I'm that stupid? Hell no. I have to take my medicine in 30 motherfuckers.
Okay, let's get back on track.
Sorry.
Back on track.
Hashtag hurricane.
Come on.
By the way, for those of you who don't know what a hashtag hurricane is, it's basically we get derailed so hard that the train literally gets caught up in a tornado and thrown off, like thrown miles away from the tracks. That is hashtag
Which
hurricane.
happens a lot. It happens a lot in our group.
Oh my god, it happens so much more. It's happening fucking now. Anyway, I really think you should develop. Honestly, like I said, it depends. Like I said, in the people in the savannah, I don't know. I'm just gonna equate savannas to real life worlds, like to real world people. Like for instance, Africa has a lot of has so many plains and savannas. So if they had a magic system, it would probably to me it's very hot, so I'd say fire. But honestly, you would probably, like you said, it would probably be earth or nature. So then develop a people who kind of live in harmony with that. So kind of like come up with where you want things to be, and then it's like, oh shit, I could do this with that or this, and then just slowly develop that. Now my question stands. Not my question. I never fucking asked a question. So this question I have for you. Is there a form I know there's 2 main gods, Mozilak and what's his name?
Arelitos.
Arelitos. Now those 2 are the 2 big bads. But my question is, does each country have its own religion, or is that the only main arcane religion?
That is still in the works.
Okay.
I've been brainstorming and trying to build for the last year, but I haven't really had a focused approach until now. But that's still in the works. That they'll probably have their own. More than likely, each continent will have their own version of the religion. More than likely, these guys will be worshiping Arelitos, because Mozilak will be in charge of Rossalik, which will be developed after. And that is a whole other. We're world building 2 worlds just for the story.
It's still under construction.
It is. It's so under construction. Good thing I have another story to work on during this time. But so that I can't answer right now.
Now I have a question. Are you basing any of this up? Ooh, I got a like on Instagram.
Congratulations.
Yay! Well, I'm promoting Gaga's new album. By the way, Chromatica. People, go fucking buy it. It's an amazing album. It's only $12, and it's the best thing I've possibly heard in my life. And I'm I know that's me being gay. Oh my god, it's Gaga, but bitch.
Hey, love what you love.
Oh god, I love this shit, man. I just literally sat down, binged the entire thing on YouTube, halfway through it, bought it, and then continued binging when I on my new one. On my phone, and it was amazing. There isn't a track I don't like, and that's odd. And that's
what makes a really great CD.
Yeah, because it's a track that you don't like. Sia, I thought Sia's album "This Is Acting" was the only one that I could thought I would not. There's only one song on her album that I don't really particularly care for. Actually, it's just not my top style. But every other thing on her album, that was my standard. Sorry, Sia. Get you. Move, bitch. Got a new sorry, Sia.
Okay, hashtag hurricane.
I know. Sia, I love you, but you've been replaced. So, are you? Thank God I remember where I'm going. For instance, the Kingdom of the White Raven is
Shop 4.
Yeah, Shop 4. The Kingdom of the White Raven is based in a real life world. Is based in a real area. If you wanted to, if I put enough detail in and told you about what all the resources are here, and there, you could surmise where it is in the world, and that for me is Siberia. Now, and then Siberia, just saying that now putting it in a real world. My question is to you: that will dictate everything that goes around it. The topography, the land, the climate, political status, everything. Are you doing that with yours, or are you just going completely from scratch?
I am going to use places on Earth as inspiration,
Okay.
but they're not going to be exactly the same.
Okay.
But I'm not going to build from scratch. That is just too much
hard.
to deal with.
Yeah.
No, especially with my first world and it being so involved. If inspiration strikes, I will build something from scratch, but I'm going to use our planet as inspiration.
Okay, cool. Because I think that will help you a lot. That will actually help you, and it will serve you well. Because truth, also, fun fact, is a lot stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
So,
no, it is. And I just subscribed to the BBC Earth newsletter. I'm going to be getting so much stuff on biology and weird stuff going on in nature.
If you find anything
I already know.
If you find anything really weird, please send it to me.
Yeah, no problem. I can forward it.
Thank you.
I can also dig through all my encyclopedias because, note, all of you listeners, I am a humongous zoology fan. Like, I'm just such a big nerd when it comes to animals and stuff.
Basically, instead of... I'm sorry, that's so mean. I can't say this joke.
No, say it. I can take it.
Basically, instead of having Fred, she memorized all of Encyclopedia Britannica.
I mean, pretty close.
See, that's what I love about you, AJ. You're like...
I didn't have access to the Encyclopedia Britannica when I was a kid. I just had regular encyclopedias.
Oh, god damn it, I dropped my shit. Oh, god.
Classic.
Anyway, I will be back. I gotta go take my meds, so I will pause the recording and then we can continue soon, okay?
Alright.
And if I can find my fucking recording. Here we go.
Hello,
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Sorry we took a little bit of an intermission because your boy had to take his pills because, you know, he's a
and
big...
I had to eat.
Yes. Also, I will be eating because right now I'm eating Cape Cod kettle cooked chips, potato chips, 40% reduced fat. Oh, and also some Milano cookies. What about you, AJ?
Ice cream.
Very nice.
Chocolate cookies and cream.
Awesome.
With cashew milk. My favorite.
Nice. So, that being said, sorry I have to do this for the camera.
Nice chewing.
For all your ASMR people. Thank you. Anyway. Anyway, my idiocy aside. Or acidry. I like that. Markiplier, he said it beautifully. The acidry. So, oh fuck, I should probably put that in my book somewhere. I said, do I have other foreign creatures? Or do I have any? No, I love you, SpongeBob, but not now. Not now, SpongeBob! Hold on. Bold, underline. No, damn it.
Doing some live editing.
Exactly. Of course, I have to make my life harder.
Authors.
Okay. By the way, fun fact, I don't even know my main character's name. All I know is I have his love interest, which is his name is Zach, and he is a royal guard. That's it. He's part of the royal guard, falls in love with the prince, shit happens, they propose, they get married after Armageddon, and then I think they kill a bitch.
You love Armageddon, don't you?
I do! Well,
Your books are based around Armageddon.
Hey, the Armageddon is fun, man, because think about it, we're already living in times of Armageddon, so fucking might as well monetize that shit.
I guess so.
By the way, for those of you who are wondering, this is 2020. Today is, June 30th. No, sorry, May 30th. And tomorrow is Pride Month!
It's May 31st.
Fuck. May 31st, I don't care, it's June. It's gonna be June tomorrow, and guess what June means? That means it's the month of the gays!
Congratulations.
Thank you. You have to kiss her ass for an entire month. It's wonderful.
Wait, aren't I included in that group?
Yes.
Yeah.
You are.
Just people don't like to talk about aces.
Hey, man. Aces are wonderful. They're the best cards in the deck.
Thank you. Okay, back to our world building discussion.
So, what like qualification? Like, what have you? What are some of like your top 10 go tos like for world building? Like, what is the thing that you need to have in a world?
Oh gosh. Well, personally, it would probably be what animals are in there
Hold on.
because big animal nerd.
I'm asking because I want to build somewhat of a decent world.
Well, for me personally, I like to know what animals are in there because that will, affect a lot of things about culture and everything. Like what cool animals, pets you can have.
Honestly,
In my world, we're gonna have little not baby dragons, but like smaller sized dragons.
So-
We're not gonna have the big kind.
so like
We're
teacup.
gonna have smaller domesticated species that are gonna play different purposes in culture, and I'm so excited to flesh that out more.
Didn't you say that's our mail system?
I didn't actually think of that.
Did you
Yes,
say-
they could be incorporated into a mail system, and there's so many ways that you can incorporate.
Because I thought you
Is
said
that-
I thought you said the dragons were like the messengers. They were like the mail. They're the Hermes of the.
Well, they could be, but they can also be used in hunting. I have the armor makers keeping them to collect their shed scales
Good
for making armor,
Okay.
literally. No, they can play a lot of different roles, and like my goal with this world is to also try and pull out other species that people wouldn't think of, like in the continent I'm building right now. I'm gonna try and incorporate water buffaloes.
Go for it.
Who's heard of water buffaloes in fantasy stories? Like, not me. So that's definitely fun for me. And another thing, I'm just a big magic person, so I have to have magic in my world.
Magic.
That's not a go-to for everyone, but
It's a
if you
go-to
want-
for me if you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely, my whole focus is more on the environment that the story is set than the people directly. But that's also my perspective on the world. I'm way more focused on nature and our connection to nature rather than the actual people living in here because we're screwed up.
Yeah, people are fucked up.
We are. But I know I'm farther ahead than you, Madison, but I'm still learning considering this is my first world. So I don't have a really big answer to that question.
Well,
Besides,
you've already given me
animals, magic.
3 really cool things like top 10 like world, like animals, magic, environment. I also think political system maybe.
Oh yeah, that's definitely important. There's a lot of things that are important, like political systems, how all of the people interact with each other, cuisine. Oh, that's going to be a big thing for me. Cuisine.
Oh, the food.
I'm a foodie. I love food. Food is a direct expression of the culture of a place, and not just a country, but like a city, a region.
That is
They're
true. Like,
direct expressions of the culture. So I'm going to be excited to develop that.
because I think, like, I don't know if this is true, but I think food in Mexico City is different than in the suburbs of Mexico versus down in the north, south, east, and west.
Probably.
It's like Italy. Italy. Okay, I need a bitch about the Italians for one fucking moment. Okay, Italians,
ahead.
I love you, but you do not own the fucking world anymore. You used to, and for some fucking reason, you created every goddamn thing I love. Violins, you probably created that. Glass blowing, you created that. Both at the furnace and at the lamp. Also, you created Baroque instrument. I think you're more popular for the Baroque. I don't know who Baroque traditionally did that. But still, y'all motherfuckers ran the world. Then France ran the world. Germany ran the world. I'm not going to touch that one. Fuck. What other countries ruled the world? Like, there's a lot
China,
of...
economically.
That's true, but I'm more talking about, like, empire-wise. Because there's the German Empire. What?
Russia?
Oh, yeah, I forgot
Are you
about...
doing Roman Empire?
Well, yeah, that's the Italians. The Roman Empire, the French Empire, the...
I need to brush up on my history. Oh, that's another thing I'm going to be excited to build
Oh,
in my
the
world, is
history.
the historical timeline.
Oh, yeah, fuck, I need to write that down, too.
I have multiple story ideas that could theoretically be set in this world, and so I'm going to get to build a timeline using those ideas, and it's just going to be so cool to see how all my different story ideas are going to line up, and, like, it's going to be fun. I'm going to have so much fun with that.
Thank you for reminding me,
I'm
because...
literally going to print an atlas of all of this. I swear to God.
Hell yeah.
I'm more excited for the world building than the actual story writing.
Honestly, yeah. And I think I'm finally understanding the value of a decent world building because, like I said, Avatar: Last Airbender is a perfect example.
Oh God, I love them. I love Avatar.
Because what it did was take the beautiful nations and then based it a lot in. They based the culture a hell of a lot into every Asian culture I can think of, and it was a beautiful blend of all them. Excuse me. Hold on, I eat now. Ow.
Yeah. And then also how they, blended all the little details together and showed how the different cultures affected little things in life, daily life. That is my inspiration.
That's my inspiration too.
I'm going to watch that again, but I'm going to Brooklyn Nine-Nine right now.
Like, for instance, everyone, I think if you want to build a world, unfortunately, it's not an easy task. I think actually writing a novel is a hell of a lot easier. Writing the first draft of a novel is fucking easier than coming up with a world.
Yeah.
But that's why I kind of cheated the first round, because for the world I created was heaven. And, like, at least in a different version of heaven. Like, that was my remix on it. So, like, that was the only world building I had, and really, it was very limited. So, again.
You didn't have to cheat in that. That's not called cheating. It's just working with the idea you got. Some ideas involve more world building than others.
I'm not done yet.
This idea happens to involve a whole lot of world building versus my other one, which is based on this world.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I see, guys, if you want to... Also, that's 5 shots now. We're up to 5 shots. Oh, shit!
No. I think we're past 5 shots, but you know what? Let the listeners...
Also, cheers, everyone. Huzzah.
I'll toast my ice cream.
Hey, man, I got 2 water bottles right here. Got 2 fucking water bottles. I'm good. So, what I think is... It depends on the amount of detail if you want. If you're a super detail-oriented person like my good friend AJ here, or if you're also not so, or if you're not all that detail-oriented like me, I'm not saying I'm on the polar opposite end of the spectrum. I'm just more kind of in the middle, really. And I want to be more towards her end, because that's just the more depth you have to a world. Because if you can look up something like, that's what I love about Star Wars too. Star Wars is probably one of the better, I think, the original world built. Well. No, it's Star Trek, and Star Wars came along and created this huge fucking galaxy.
Yeah.
And that's what the thing is, my inspiration or my thing for all of you guys is, have everything have a story. Every major thing. Like, if there's an artifact, for instance, and like if there's an artifact that your character comes across, have that have a history to it. And, like, or if you have a specific weapon, have that have that weapon have a creator or a maker. If the main character made it, why did he make it? Where did he get his inspiration from? Like, always, writing is nothing more than asking questions and answering them.
Yeah.
And that's the interesting...
You can pick any plot hole with asking why.
And if you don't know why...
That is how I found a lot of my major plot holes in my ideas. Is asking, why is this happening? Or why are they acting this way? That's why I had to reshape the plot for my other book like 3 times. Because I kept on finding all these major plot holes and I was asking why.
Now, if you want to be more creative, definitely create a world from scratch. Now, don't say... Now, you can get into ridiculously crazy details, like to the angle of the axis of your planet.
You're calling me out.
No, I'm not. I'm not...
I was just telling you guys a few days ago, figuring out the axial tilt so that I had eternal seasons.
Do you understand why I love this woman right here? Because she's just she's an adorable nerd. Now, here's the thing, guys. If you want to do that, do it. Because, again, it gives every single thing more reality to it. It makes it more palatable? No. It makes it more tangible. And so,
it's also way more fun to try and mix things up.
Exactly.
Like, because of the axial tilt I chose for this planet, seasons don't happen. They just, the climate stays the same all year round. And that's what I was going for.
Ooh, that's nice. I need to move to... Can I move to, is it Ilrock?
Which one did you want to go to?
I just want to move to Therotovus and then, like, go with the Skinny Yeti Elves and just live in my icy tundra. And just...
Okay, that's like... I don't know. I think I'm having them in Kisriad. If I remember correctly. Talbot. They're going to be living in Talbot.
Okay. I'm moving to Talbot.
Right at the South Pole.
Oh, nice.
Fun while we're doing a podcast.
Sorry, I know. People are sliding into my DMs, man. But everything, it depends. Like I said, for me personally, I kind of cheated a little bit. I created Heaven. It's like with its specific set of rules, and then just you said, oh, that's enough. Cut the ribbon, cut the line, and then I just literally put all of it in Ireland. Specifically, 2 places, actually multiple places. I mentioned a shit ton of places, but I only have it in Dunmore East and then Dublin. Those are the only 2 places my characters actually go to. Now, in that, or at least in my experience, I've noticed what you have to do is so much fucking research, and it's annoying. I have essentially fallen in love with Ireland, and I'm fine with that. So this is 7 shots now. But I think the thing the viewers should know is from that point you have to study the cultures. You have to study the culture of Ireland, how people talk in Ireland, how people present themselves in Ireland, what is Ireland like? If you're gonna put it in a place that isn't America, that you aren't, or wherever. Sorry, I'm American, as you can tell by my accent and ignorance. Fuck.
Way to diss us.
Fuck, man. I'm just as bad as everyone else. I'm sorry, I can't hear all of you.
No, yeah, you got to do research on places that you haven't been. Like my other story, the one that I'm not world building for, is it starts in Arizona, and I've never been to Arizona. I've never been farther west than Kansas, so I'm gonna have to do quite a bit of research to learn about what people are like in Arizona. Thankfully, we have a friend who's visited there several times, so we get a good resource, but definitely going to have quite a bit of research into that.
Now, I haven't done this personally myself, but, like, for instance, Ireland, I go on YouTube, and thank God there's a YouTuber named Diana Jennings. Thank fucking God. Thank you, Diana. I'm sorry, Diane Jennings. Shit. I probably pissed her off. God damn it. Diane Jennings. Miss Jennings, thank you for your existence. Thank you. Because all her YouTube is just comparing Irish culture to American culture. And I'm like, perfect. I love you. If you can find any YouTuber like that, or any source, or
gold mines.
Yeah, or any source that compares, like, one to the rest of whatever, like Indian culture, what is India like compared to the rest of the world? If you can find those type of things, tap into that gold mine it till it's dry. Sorry. I know it sounds like I have a dick in my mouth, but I don't. I actually have a cookie in my mouth, so fuck all of it. But if you can all, find that, you are going to be in the goal. You are perfect.
Yep.
Is there anything else we should add?
I don't know. This is your podcast. I'm just a guest.
Well, I know, but also you and I are talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
And we have
but some. You're this.
I say this, my biggest tip for all of you guys, and again, because I haven't even done this personally, but I am. I think AJ is actually a lot more of an authority to speak on this than I am, but still. What you got to do is, I definitely say borrow from real world people. Like, borrow something from real world here, because that will help you and it will serve you well. But just like, for instance, Avatar: Last Airbender, again, is a perfect example. Like, the air nomads are based off of the Tibetan monks, and their teachings are also in there too. The Fire Nation is based off of Japan, although you wouldn't really know, because they kind of toned down the Japanese feel, and I'm like, why? It's to me, when I heard that, I was like, Japan? Fucking really? But it's much more subtle, this kind of slapped you across the fucking face. I think they more beat it into our skulls that the Earth Kingdom is China. Like, you can't. It's just China. Like, straight up China. Like, there's no going around that. It's just China. It's just beating the shit out of you. So So yeah, that's the Earth Kingdom capital, and then the North and South poles are basically the Inuit people, or what we know as Eskimos.
Which is technically a derogatory term.
Yeah, and I never knew that.
Mm-hmm.
To me, Inuit sounds really derogatory. It's like, man, you're just...
But it is not.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's something kind of weird. Like, I didn't know that was a derogatory term personally, so that's why I don't really like using it anymore. But hey, man, I don't know. But you do you. You do you, boo.
Yeah, that world building tip. Take ideas from the real world and then add a twist to it. See if you can, like, change something about it that makes it unique. And then that'll probably inspire you down a whole different path. That's where I came up. I'm like, okay, well, what if I take Earth and, like, change something about it so that the seasons there are no seasons. And that kind of led into developing this whole world. And yeah, so you never know. You may come up with your own world idea, or you may just come up with an animal species or something. You never know.
Honestly, I think it's a really cool idea to go down that rabbit hole. And if you don't, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. So
and you gotta let yourself. You can't try and control it. And that's big me saying that I'm a big control freak. So you gotta let the ideas flow, and you gotta follow the ideas, or else it's gonna be stale.
Now,
Just saying.
Here's a huge thing I have to say for all of you. For my original book, Alos the Blue, I have two technically. So the Ireland book is Alos the Blue, and the Siberia book is the White Raven. Doesn't matter. I'll talk to you about that later. Anyway, shameless plug over. So the thing is, here's the thing. Everyone has an idea. Everyone has at least one story to tell, and that's a true fact. Because again, we are humans, and we want to tell stories. Now, I'm completely ripping off Joyce Carol Oates when I say that, but she has a very good point. Professor Oates has a phenomenal point in saying that. I think she's a professor somewhere. And then I'm going to come in and say this. No matter how shit you think your story is, it's not. It's a good idea, and I think what you have to do is just trust yourself on that one. Because, I mean, yes, how you write it might sound like it's shit, but as long as it's a good story, as long as there are good bones to it, I think that's where it's just a refining game from that point. Because I think when you put down the initial story, have faith in it, and yes, you'll go through like 10, 20, 30, 40, fucking 50 drafts, or 4 years later, 4 years later, you pump out a fucking thing in 2 weeks, and then you're like, really, what the fuck? I wasted all my life for this bullshit? God damn it. Anywho, I'm sorry. Am I talking to you personally? Probably. But have faith in yourself, because if you don't, that's when doubt comes in. And doubt will, and ultimately destroy you. Doubt is the Achilles heel of everyone. So just trust in what you do, go through the drafts, and just refine it. Anything you want to say?
No. You summed it up good. I put my thoughts in.
Well, that's all I got for tonight, or at least for world building. I'll probably record a second writing thing. Also, tell me what you guys like this, because I kind of want to make more of these things. Definitely with AJ, even if it doesn't get published. I just enjoy it because it's good. It's just good to talk about stuff, and it's good to talk about writing, and I enjoy writing, so I think it would be fun.
And talking it out kind of, helps you form your ideas too.
Exactly. So,
like now I know what direction I'm going to head into in world building.
Ooh, where?
With it. Well, I'm gonna build the continent, and it's gonna affect my magic system.
Okay, cool.
But I'm gonna do it one continent at a time, because that's just gonna be too stressful.
Yeah.
If I try and do all 7 of them at the same time.
Oh. Well,
they're all going to be very individual. That's the thing. That's why it's going to be so stressful.
Yeah, I get that point.
And then that way I can bounce around from thing to thing.
Okay.
So it keeps me focused. Because my brain is weird.
Well, my brain is weird too. I'm writing 2 books simultaneously, so it's weird.
Hey, how am I?
Okay.
Well, what works for you, works for you.
Exactly.
Just don't overwhelm yourself.
Oh. Because I will say this, if you overwhelm yourself, you will kind of anytime you open that document, you'll kind of feel like, oh god, I have to do this now. So don't do
Yeah.
that because if it's not pleasurable anymore, you're not doing something right.
Yeah. And that's why I like having two projects, because when you get stumped on one, you can just switch over to the other and it helps refresh your brain.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Or,
if you had to, I'd just do them at the same time and just bounce between the two of them.
oh God. I can do it, but that makes my head spin.
I need to start continuing writing my other story. I only still have one scene.
Which story? Oh yeah, that's the I think it's called the Phoenix. I don't know what it's called.
I don't have a title yet. It just involves phoenixes.
Okay.
I'm dubbing the project the Phoenix Trilogy, but there's no set titles yet.
Makes sense.
And I have no clue where this is going yet.
Hey, I mean, actually, I'll save that. I'll save that for the second episode, which is going to be the rough draft. So tune in.
You're gonna have one day on that.
Yeah, but that's what I want to do. I want to talk about the rough draft process with you next episode, which will probably be in like 5 minutes. So, guys, yeah, tune in for the next episode.
Sounds good.
So yeah, I'm Madison Stevens.
And I'm AJ.